Most people think that the holy grail of financial milestones is hitting six figures or becoming a millionaire. But what if I told you they're wrong? While 100K is a significant number, it's not the number where your life changes the most. It's not 75K, 50K, or even 25K either. From my experience, the number where your life changes the most in so many ways is actually hitting that first $10,000. Because once you're able to hit 10K, everything shifts. Your confidence, your mindset, the opportunities that come to you, and your ability to build wealth. It's when money stops controlling you and you start controlling money. The first reason I think hitting 10K is so powerful is that it shatters a huge mental barrier. When you see your bank account hit 5 digits instead of 4, it's proof that you've built some great financial habits in order to continue building your wealth. That's because for most Americans, staying stuck in the 4-figure range is the norm. Consider this, according to SoFi, the average salary in America is $66,622. That means if you get paid every 2 weeks, you're taking home $22.93 every paycheck. In fact, it'll take around 1 full year of savings if you were to save 20% of the average salary that we just talked about in the United States. After accounting for necessities and cost of living, even if you are saving 20% of your paycheck, which is already a lot, that's only $458. And what if you have poor financial habits, like you're in debt or you're not able to save any money at all? It's almost guaranteed that you're gonna be stuck in the 4-figure range and it's gonna be really hard to climb out. So the idea here is that if you're able to actually save your way to that $10,000 figure, considering you also have to pay for the expenses of life at the same time, then you definitely deserve a pat on the back because it signals to me that you've been putting in the work and have the discipline. It should give you a lot more confidence and momentum going into bigger milestones like 25, 50, or even 100K. So hitting 10K proves to yourself that saving money is actually possible, and this self-belief should start to change your identity and perception around how you think about money. After you save 10K, that's when the momentum around compounding really begins, and that is reason number 2 on why it's so important to hit that 10K. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world according to Albert Einstein, and the simple concept just simply means that your money is starting to earn money for you. This concept is the main core and integral part of personal finance, and it definitely deserves its own section here. And if there's anything that you take away from this video, it's to understand that you need to do everything it takes to start getting your money to compound for you in order to build wealth long term. Take a look at this chart of Warren Buffett's net worth here. Currently, Warren Buffett is worth over $155 billion as of early 2025. But the most fascinating part out of looking at this entire chart, in my opinion, is that 98 to 99% of Buffett's net worth was accumulated after the age of 65. And I think that is just mind-blowing. When it comes to compound interest, let's actually take the following example. Pretend you save $1,000 a year and you're able to get a return of 7% on that $1,000. The stock market actually averages around 8 to 10% per year, but let's use 7% to be conservative here. Hitting your first 10K will take roughly 7.5 years if you save $1,000 each year and invest it and get that 7%. So naturally, you might come to the conclusion that if you kept saving $1,000 per year, it would take you another 7.5 years to hit 20K. But actually, if you wanted to get to 20K total, it would only take you 5 years after you hit your first 10K. That's because your initial 10K is generating you interest, effectively saving you around 2.84 years the next 10K around. Now, ideally, that's not the best example because we don't want to just be saving $1,000 per year because nobody wants to take 7.5 years of their life to hit 10K. I do think it's actually entirely reasonable to save and invest your way to 10K within 1 to 2 years, provided you stay disciplined and are doing everything in your power to earn some more money on the side as well. What we really want to do is speed run our way to 10K because that's when we can actually enjoy the benefits of having 10K overall and the compounding. Now, one of the benefits of having 10K is actually going to be the third reason I want to cover in today's video, which is it allows you to have more confidence around money. First off, I think there's a misconception out there about how much people actually have in terms of money. Social media will lead you to believe that everyone is a rich millionaire with multiple passive income streams. Even on YouTube here, you'll see videos with titles that include the numbers 100K, 500K, 1 million, 5 million. And yes, even I'm guilty of making some of these videos on my channel. But the truth is that 59% of Americans can't even afford a $1,000 emergency expense, and nearly half of Americans say that they are living paycheck to paycheck. Couple this with the fact that the personal savings rate in America is merely only 4.6%, then we should really face the fact that the average person is barely making it these days. So for the average person, $10,000 is still a lot of money, and it should be something to aspire to as well as be proud of as well when you hit it. And just like I said in my earlier point about going from 4 figures to 5 figures, having 10K in your account should give you a sense of, okay, I can do this money thing and I can keep going when it comes to building my wealth. Before we get into the next reason why saving 10K is so important, I want to tell you guys about my free newsletter called Hump Days. It's where we come out with free business news twice per week. If you like the videos that we put out here on the main channel on YouTube, then you'll really enjoy the newsletter. It is free to sign up and I will leave a link down below for it. The fourth reason why having 10K is so powerful is that it will literally cover 99% of life's emergencies. Emergency funds are going to be vital if you want that financial peace of mind no matter what. So you want to just think of it like financial self-insurance. You hope that you never need it, but when you do, it can save you from financial ruin. 10K is a great number because it can now double as a safety net, because most surprise expenses that will ever happen to you in life will generally not exceed 10K. Usually, I think surprise expenses are less than $1,000, and in some cases, they can get up to the $2,000 to $3,000 range, but rarely are they going to be more than 5 figures. I've personally been tracking my expenses since 2014, and my largest emergency expense in the past 11 years has been an unexpected car maintenance, and that actually cost me $2,286 instead of the usual $500 maintenance that I was used to. That means the difference between what I expected versus what I paid for was $1,786. It definitely sucks to have an unexpected expense like that, but imagine if you only had $3,000 in your bank account. Something like that could really be discouraging and set you back financially. So having $10,000, you can rest a little bit easier because you're going to be covered financially in 99% of cases where a financial emergency comes up. Remember from our previous point that 59% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense. So in my opinion, if you have $10,000, you are in a great financial spot. Reason number 5 why I think 10K is so important is that with 10K, I think you can be pickier about your opportunities. Before 10K, you may feel obligated to do certain things because you're under a lot of financial pressure. Having this cushion means that you can negotiate better, you can take some more calculated risks, which could end up making you more money down the road, and you could also pursue opportunities that align with your long-term goals instead of making decisions out of desperation. So in short, I think having 10K buys you some breathing room and freedom when it comes to decision making around your finances. For example, if you're barely scraping by in life, you might always go for the cheapest option. So you might buy low quality shoes or clothes, you might pick the cheapest groceries even if they're unhealthy, and you might have to skip a lot of conveniences. But when you have 10K, you can start to make some smarter choices in life. Instead of asking yourself, what's the cheapest option here? You start to ask yourself, what's the best value item here? You may be able to invest in a good pair of shoes or clothing that will last you years instead of just a few months, or you can afford to buy a healthier option of food that will give you more energy and sustain you for longer. I think this slight shift in how you ask yourself what will give you the best value versus what is the cheapest thing is so powerful, because that's when you start to see money as a tool rather than money being a limiting factor. The next big reason why 10K changes everything is that it unlocks your first real investment options. Before you have 10K, I would say your investment choices are extremely limited. If you only have $2,000 to your name in a bank account, you probably need that money to survive. And so even if you do invest, you might put $100 into investing. That's still good, but it's not as meaningful as it could be, because pretend you get a 10% return on $100 invested over the course of a year. Sure, that amounts to an extra $10, but that extra $10 might not have too much of an impact on your financial life. When you hit 10K though, you can start making meaningful moves. You could buy full shares of index funds, you could fund a side hustle that generates some income, or you can make significant contributions to a Roth IRA. These first investments will teach you a lot about money, and the psychological shift of seeing your money work for you instead of sitting in a savings account just collecting little interest will be game changing. The next reason why I think having 10K is so powerful is that it helps you break the cycle of financial anxiety. Most people live in a constant state of low-level financial stress, even if they don't realize it. They're always one bad week or month away from falling behind on bills, they hesitate before making any purchases, and money is a constant source of worry. When you reach 10K though, something interesting happens. The background noise of that financial anxiety starts to fade from your brain. You stop stressing about every little expense, and you no longer feel paralyzed by unexpected costs. And I think this is the first time when you gain some peace of mind knowing that you're not just scraping by, and you can actually start focusing on some other financial goals. This, in my opinion, is one of the biggest emotional shifts in money in general. You should be thinking more clearly at this point and operating from a position of power when it comes to money. Perhaps this is the same time you change your mindset from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Someone with an abundance mindset firmly believes that there is enough money to go around now, and that in the future, more money can always be made. As a result, they probably invest their money now, not for the fear of it going down, but because they see money as a tool tool to grow their wealth and build a better future. They're more likely to save for long-term goals, recognizing that if they sacrifice some of their short-term gratification today, it will lead to compounding wealth later on. These successes will build confidence, further reinforcing the belief in the potential for growth, and then that just becomes a virtuous cycle and a really good feedback loop. So many good things happen when you hit the first $10,000 mark. If you already have 10K, I would